महाराज, 2 दिन से जो दिल्ली शोभा ने हमें एक अपॉर्चुनिटी दी है नेटवर्किंग की, एक अनूठी अपॉर्चुनिटी है और हम सब ने उसका भरसक लाभ उठाया. And I'm sure with your presence, we are much more energized today, and we welcome on you stage. Please grace our occasion. Please give him a big round of applause, Maharaj Jyotiraditya Scindia. Venkat Das Ji Agrawal, please come over the stage. Surendra uncle, please give him a big round of applause. मैं अपने हार्ड वर्किंग नेवर स्माइलिंग प्रेसिडेंट दिल्ली शोभा से एक अनुरोध करूंगा कि महाराज को स्कार्फ से अभिनंदन करें. स्कूल का स्कार्फ जो ठाकुर एंड अब्राहम ठाकुर के द्वारा बनाया गया है सर, स्पेशली फॉर दिस ओकेजन. थैंक यू सर, बहुत बहुत धन्यवाद. मैं ध्रुव सिंह चौहान से रिक्वेस्ट करूंगा कि वो आएं. ध्रुव सिंह चौहान फ्रॉम रेमंड्स. अब मैं रवि सौंड से निवेदन करता हूं कि वो कृपा कर आएं और महाराज का वेलकम करें, स्वागत करें, अभिनंदन करें. ये शॉल की हमारी अनूठी परंपरा है जो लगभग 125 वर्षों से चल रही है. आपका स्वागत है सर, अभिनंदन है. Now I would request Venkat Agrawal to have a welcome speech.
Let me start with welcoming Maharaj Jyotiraditya Scindia ji, Member Board of Governors, my dear friends Scindians, Principal Ajay Singh ji, and all the family members of the Scindia. It gives me great pleasure to host this networking and business conclave organized by the Delhi Sobha, the Alumni Associate of Scindia School. With the theme Building the Future by Enabling the Leaders of Tomorrow, over the course of this event, we have had opportunity to hear from some of the most inspiring and visionary minds in the business world today. We have discussed topics ranging from the importance of innovation and entrepreneurship to the challenges and opportunity facing the global economy. We have learned about the latest trends and technology shaping the future of our industries, and we have explored ways to develop the skills and necessary knowledge to thrive in the 21st century. Though our conversation and interactions, we have built lasting connections and forge new partnerships that will help us to achieve our common goals. And we have been reminded of the power of education and mentorship in shaping the next generations of leaders. As we look towards the future, we must continue to connect, innovate, collaboration, and diversity. We must remain committed to developing the skills and knowledge necessary to thrive in the rapidly changing the world. And we must never lose sight of the importance of giving back to our school and investing in the next generations of the leader. Once again, I would like to thank all our speakers, sponsors, and participants for making this event such a success. I look forward to seeing the fruits of our collaborations and to continue our efforts to build a better future for all. Thank you.
welcome Maharaj. Now, may I request Surendra uncle to please welcome Maharaj.
महाराज ज्योतिरादित्य सिंधिया, पहले तो मैं अपनी आवाज़ ख़राब होने की माफ़ी मांगता हूँ. Fellow Indians, ladies and gentlemen, I am reminded of a story when a organization approached Winston Churchill and wanted him to speak on an occasion. Churchill asked, "How much time would you give me when I come and speak?" They said, "Sir, why are you asking this question?" He says, "If you are going to give me 15 minutes, I don't have to prepare. But if you are going to give me only 5 minutes, I jolly well prepare, otherwise I'll be running out of time." That is the situation for me just now. And therefore, I have made some small notes which I will use to welcome on behalf of SOBA Delhi NCR, as well as on my own behalf, Maharaj Jyotiraditya Scindia, who is the president of our great institution, the Scindia School. After 7 years in school, from 1950 to 1957, I have had the pleasure of working in the corporate world as a managing director of a family-run business. And also, during the same period of 60 years, I have been working for SOBA, either starting it somewhere or revitalizing it somewhere. In Bhopal, Calcutta, Delhi, I had the privilege of doing this, and I also had the privilege of introducing Maharaj Jyotiraditya Scindia as an honorary member of SOBA. At that time, we presented him the school tie, in spite of the fact that he had a little different education in Doon School. I also have designed this tie of the school under the guidance of late Maharaj Madhav Rao Scindia, who has been always really the most dynamic force that Scindia School had in his short journey. And I still remember that we lost him very untimely. Now, for a true Indian, I feel the school always comes next to the family. You would all agree that the formative years in school are evergreen in our lives. And the school always remains in the forefront whenever the value system that we are adopting, what we are doing. So I treat the school as truly the best thing that has happened in my life. At the time of school centenary, we brought out at that time, there was a special supplement brought out in the newspapers, daily newspapers of Delhi. And I had written an article at that time, which in short extract, I will reproduce what I had written in 1997, which is even relevant today. Many years have passed since I left school. As the world has changed, the school has changed also. The change, however, of the school is for the better. And this kind of a development is taking place all the time. It has imbibed all modern educational techniques along with strong traditional beliefs of our Indian culture. I am quite sure that even when I am gone, my school, Scindia School, will continue to have a glorious past and a tradition of giving an excellent environment and facilities for all-round development of generations to come. And that is the conventions, that is the kind of a theme that we have followed in this conclave when we have talked of inspiring the leaders. Yesterday, at the time of inauguration, we got a wonderful lecture from Yugraj Mahan Aryaman Singh and also the principal, Dr. Ajay Singh. What the Yuvraj talked about future is so relevant that if we can focus in our pedagogy of education, in our building up of people on those points, then I'm sure we will be educating people for a leadership role in future also. In the last 2 days, we the Indians from across the country and abroad who had a great mix of policymakers, professionals, entrepreneurs and visionaries deliberated on the various sectors of nation building. We have been discussing the future of sectors like education, business, finance, spiritualism, healthcare, entertainment, and various avenues. And I'm sure whatever has been discussed will really benefit not only the alumni present here, but for the generation next which they would influence. Before I leave the stage and give it to our chief guest, honored guest, Maharaj Jyotiraditya Scindia, to address us, I would conclude with an improvised version of a popular song that we used to sing in 50s. And that is, वो रातें, वो मौसम, वो हंसना हंसाना, हमें भूल जाना, उन्हें ना भुलाना. Thank you very much.
Now may I request Maharaj Jyotiraditya Scindia and Scindian to kindly address us और हमें अनुग्रहित करें सर. Please give him a big round of applause.
Seated on the dais with me, someone who has always been a extremely important fundamental part of the Scindia Connect, Adarniya Surendra Malhotra ji, President of the Delhi Soba Chapter Venkatesh Das ji, members of the Board of Governors, Principal of the Scindia School, Ajay Singh ji, and members of the Scindia family, and अतिशयोक्ति नहीं होगी अगर मैं कहूँ कि मेरे परिवार के सदस्यगण जो आज इस कार्यक्रम में उपस्थित हैं. Malhotra ji, in his address, quintessentially displayed all the essential characteristics of a Scindian. Emotional in his address, connecting with the past, talking about the present, cogitating about the future, laced with wit, some degree of wry sarcasm, and the conclusion has to be a filmy dialogue. If only he had not mentioned to us the date of his joining and the date of his graduation, he would very much represent the eternal Scindian throughout the ages. And as far as his comment with regard to the other school that he mentioned, let me allay all his concerns by saying, certainly once a DOSCO, but in heart always a Scindian. Our school has had a very, very long journey. Our institution has had a very essential and important impact not only on the national firmament but on the global landscape. And that comes from the ethos of our institution. That comes from the foundation that was laid 125 years ago. And I'd like to quote a Founders' Day speech, and I quote, "The young men who go out of the Scindia school will carry in life and in their conduct the bold imprint of this institution, the stamp of self-discipline, of character, of chivalry, of dignity, and of good behavioral qualities on which higher citizenship is based," unquote. This was part of the Founders' Day speech given by my grandfather, His Highness Maharaja Jivaji Rao Scindia, in 1944, prior to India's independence. And 79 years on today, these are the very foundational character on which our institution and our products are based. What separates us from other institutions across the world, leave alone within the country? The last 3 years have been an extremely trying time. First, surviving the pandemic. Second, coping with the pandemic. And third, stitching our lives back together as people, as a family, as a society, and as a nation. हिंदी में कहते हैं ना ताना बाना, वो दोबारा ताना बाना, the weave and the weft को बोने का कार्य इस 3 साल के अवधि के बाद हमने दोबारा शुरू किया. And it has impacted all and every one of us. But I'm glad to report to you today that it is the Scindia School that has emerged stronger from this pandemic, adapted faster to this pandemic, whether it be in the methods of our teaching, our pedagogy, our curriculum, making sure that we recover from the loss of learning that has taken place. And when I talk about the loss of learning of our children, it is not only the loss of learning within the classroom, but the loss of learning within our environments and within our society. And that has always been to the Scindia School. I was listening to some of the panelists here. Sage words of advice from hardcore experience, adaptability, to have that inherently as part of our character. That is what the Scindian has always represented. But what one of our panelists said, that the frequency of change in the world is going to be much faster. We are no longer a static world, we are a dynamic world. And as one of my professors at Stanford Business School said to us on our last day of instruction, 2 pieces of advice they left with us, or rather he left with us. He's the founder of Intel, a gentleman by the name of Andy Grove. And he said, the only thing that's constant in the world is change. And the second thing he left us on our whiteboards before he walked out of the classroom, and he said, don't see this till I leave. And he had 4 words written there. And those 4 words were, only the paranoid survive. So we need to be paranoid about change, whether it is our lives, our relationships, our institutions, our companies. And at the core of that fundamental, either one of these strata that we look at, the key is a person-to-person relationship. Everything else follows from that. One of the mantras that we heard on this dais, that success is not about the amount of money that you have in your bank. I guarantee you there are at least 1 million or more billionaires in this country that are the most unhappy lot. Success is about happiness. Success is about relationships. And one of those relationships in our lives is our relationship with our institution. Because we are the institution. The institution is us. Mutually symbiotic. One cannot survive without the other. And that is why we have the tradition at the Scindia School. At every Founders' Day, that the Madhav awardee on the stage passes on the lamp of learning to the youngest ward at the Scindia school. Unlike other institutions, or maybe let me rephrase that, more than other institutions across the world, we are steeped in our sanskars. A very simple concept. I wonder who thought of it. But so fundamental to our essence, so fundamental to our being. Our legacy and our practice of Astachal. If you ask any Scindian in the last 125 years who's graduated from Scindia school, what's the one thing that you will never forget till your last day? That is our time within ourselves. Self-introspection. And why is that important? It is the part of Indianness. It is a part of Bharatyata. अंतरात्मा में झांको. जिंदगी में हम लोगों की आदत होती है उंगली दिखाने के लिए. हम भूल जाते हैं कि जब हम किसी को उंगली दिखाते हैं तो 3 उंगलियां हमारे तरफ होती हैं. And that time in Astachal for us to ourselves is our time of introspection. The setting sun behind Mahatma Gandhi Ji's statue. All of us sitting in silence together. And all are equal. No one in that environment is a student or a house prefect or a school captain or a faculty member or a principal. An egalitarian environment where we look within ourselves. And I hope most of us carry that through at some point in our lives. Perception is not what we think of ourselves. Perception is what others think of us. So that bharatyata, that devotion to sanskars is a part of the Scindian experience. And that immersion, if you will, quote unquote, that immersion into those sanskars, that immersion into bharatyata, you cannot get in any institution in the world apart from the Scindia school. And as this is becoming the age of India's dawn on the global stage, I, as an Indian and a Scindian, have no doubt in my mind that in the next 20 years, India shall rule the world, and she will rule the world not only in economic terms, but she will rule over the world in terms of her philosophy, in terms of Vasudeva Kutumbakam. And that again, ladies and gentlemen, is part of us at Scindia School. A very small gesture today on this stage that speaks to that. This is a Soba Delhi event, Scindia, but back home, because Scindia is home, and home is Scindia. And so therefore, 4 very simple requests to our alumni and to you, because you are the role models for the school today. The challenges that you have faced, personal and professional, the capability with which you have risen from those challenges, those will be lessons for our students in the years to come. And therefore, 4 small requests from my side to you. First, let's scale up our relationship. It's important that we engage deeper, engage wider. Second, the school has a wonderful Sobir program in place. Scindia Old Boys in Residence, where our alumni, young or slightly younger, Malhotra ji comes into the younger group, Venkatesh ji comes into the slightly younger group. Take that time off for 7 days back for your alma mater, back for us at Scindia. Come back and engage with the kids back at the fort. Bring back your memories of your time at the fort. That soul needs nourishing, reinvigorating. And those 7 days or 2 weeks show the path to our children as they move along. The third, our messaging to the outside universe. We need to structure ourselves. We need to pass the Scindia branding and messaging across. What a wonderful panel the last 5 or 7 minutes that I heard on this stage today. These are our Navratnas that the school has produced. We need to engage deeper. We need to engage broader. And why should we not have this kind of a session instead of in the convention center at this location? Why don't we have it at the fort? And there's a reason why I'm saying this to you. Because here, after this session or after a couple of sessions, we all go back to what is normal life. There we will be ensconced back in the safe environment that nurtured us for 5 to 7 years. In what used to be, in many ways, our labyrinth, our womb. So why do we not hold a 2-day session at the fort? We now have a Soba house in place as well. And how enlightening would this sort of a session be for the 600 future leaders of tomorrow that Scindia is producing? And my final request to all of you, there are structured and unstructured ways in which we would want to work along with you at the school. The board is a structured format. But I'm all for an unstructured format as well. And so why don't we take up ideas, pilots on different issues? And our alumni who have had experience in those areas, or maybe not had experience in those areas, but are passionate about those areas, become involved with that initiative. And one such initiative that a lot of our old boys, our alumni are part of, is the Fort Biosphere initiative, which we've started at the Scindia School. We want to become an institution that in the next 3 years will contribute to the city on waste, on water, on energy consumption. The fort itself is a unique biosphere in itself across the world. So there will be many more initiatives like this, where you would look for your leadership to make those initiatives fruitful for our students and our institution in the days to come. This year is a very, very important year in our history. I still remember 1997. Malhotra ji and many of you, Mahesh ji, were an integral part of our 100th year anniversary celebrations. This is a seminal year for the school, a year that will mark a paradigm change in how we face our future. A new dawn, a progressive dawn for the school. And I would very much look forward to all of your participations. I have been requesting SOBA again and again that we need to put together a repository of our alumni, engage with them across multiple fora. We have a wealth of experience, a wealth of capability, and we must bring that to the fore. So on this 125th year opening with this two-day session in Delhi, let me first of all congratulate all of you, thank all of you, and along with you, look forward to building a progressive, an institution that will mark the hallmark of India in the next decade across the world. Thank you very much for having me.
Maharaj, thank you so much for your energizing speech and where you gave us कुछ आपने निर्देश दिए हैं जिसका हम पालन करेंगे, भरसक पालन करेंगे. प्रिंसिपल की सहमति से हम लोग इसी तरह का एक आयोजन फोर्ट पे भी करेंगे सर.
And we should make it an annual event.
That's for sure, sir. आपका आदेश है, बिल्कुल उसका परिपालन होगा सर.
And we should keep the dates fixed.
Delhi Soba President.
Just like Founders Day is fixed, the dates of this should also be fixed.
Sure, sir.
So it's imprinted on the calendar with respect to the.
So on behalf of President Soba, I commit that. महाराज, आपने अस्ताचल की बात की. अस्ताचल की सीढ़ियां हम सबके जीवन में एक संस्कृति बन चुकी है और वो हमारे जीवन का एक हिस्सा बन चुकी है आज तक पास आउट होने के बावजूद भी. शायद वही एक समय होता है जब हम
एक आपको निवेदन करना चाहता हूं.
सर,
हम लोग भारत में ये शब्द का प्रयोग बहुत करते हैं, पास आउट. पास आउट के
अनेक मतलब होते हैं. क्षमा करें.
आप कृपा करके ग्रेजुएट.
क्षमा करें. I still corrected, sir.
I'm borrowing some of the humor and sarcasm from I'm a quick learner.
सर, सिंधिया स्कूल ने हमें यही सिखाया है कि हम जल्दी से सीखें और उसको दोबारा रिपीट ना करें. सर, मैं कह रहा था कि जैसा आपने कहा और ऑब्जर्व किया कि शायद वही एक समय होता है जब हम अपने जीवन का आत्मावलोकन करते हैं. बापू के मूर्ति के पीछे बैठकर कुछ बातें कहते हैं, कुछ गीता की बात याद करते हैं, कुछ संस्कृति की बात याद आती है और वो शायद जीवन भर चलते रहती है. एटलीस्ट सोबा के हर व्यक्ति में वो समाहित है. उसी संस्कृति का एक पार्ट हर वर्ष हम लोग मनाते हैं जो सोबा के not only school but Soba also gives an award to our old boys जो संस्कृति में रमे हुए हैं. सर, उसी हिस्से को आगे बढ़ाते हुए हमने कई महारथी अपने स्कूल में पैदा किए हैं, वहाँ से निकले हैं. उनके परिश्रम को स्वीकारा है, उनके परिश्रम को रिकॉग्नाइज किया है. आज की संध्या में सर, आपकी उपस्थिति में हम अपने उन दो महावीरों का, उन दो महारथियों का सम्मान करना चाहते हैं. वो हैं रसिका रजनीश राय कुमार एवं गगन खोसला. Now may I call upon Shri Sandeep Agrawal to read out citation, please.
This is for Rasika Rajneesh Rai Kumar. Respects to Maharaj. I am also a very quick learner, sir. तो हम भी प्लीज़ बैठिए. रजनीश मेरा भाई है, हमेशा रहेगा. एंड उसी श्रृंखला में जो आपने कहा, रसिका मेरी भाभी हुई. तो this citation I read out for my friend, my mentor, और रजनीश जिसने who forced me to take up a position in the Central Soba. I will be forever grateful to him for that. And this we present to Rasika Rajneesh Rai Kumar for always being a pillar of support to the Scindian alumni and forever standing firm with our beloved schoolmate, friend and mentor, Scindian Rajneesh Rai Kumar, class of 1982, who led the Central Soba team as our beloved president. You shall forever remain in our hearts, brother. Please, Rasika Bhabi, please come up. Yamini, I request you to please come to the stage. You are an equal member of the Scindian family. The second award is for the Star of Delhi. Star of Delhi क्या बोलूँ मैं, ये तो इंटरनेशनल स्टार हैं, रॉक स्टार हैं. Scindian Gagan Khosla, class of 1974, Jivaji House. He's made the Scindian family proud. He's an avid I'll read out the citation once, so we all are aware that he is an avid athlete and endurance cyclist. He has in the year 2016 cycled from Leh to Kanyakumari, a distance of 4,000 plus kilometers in 29 days for the scholarship cause of our alma mater, the Scindia School. In 2022, at the age of 66, he has done the India quadrilateral, that's Delhi, Kolkata, Chennai, Mumbai, Delhi. A distance of 6,000 plus kilometers in 37 days for the NGO Save the Children, especially for children who missed the opportunity to be educated during the pandemic. We are proud of his achievements and commemorate his spirit of adventure as a Scindian. Ishi Bhabi, agar aap hain yahan pe, to please, as an equal member of the Scindian family, if you are there in the audience, kindly come up, please. I saw you here somewhere, but chaliye. Thank you so much, Bhabi. अब भाभी का कोई इंग्लिश में इक्विवेलेंट नहीं है तो इसलिए मैं उनको थैंक यू सो मच.
प्लीज गिव ए बिग राउंड ऑफ अप्लॉज टू दोनों महारथियों के लिए. बहुत बहुत करतल ध्वनि से स्वागत करें.
Thank you very much. I am grateful and humbled. I'll just speak a few words. People ask me, why do you take such risky adventures, cycling on national highways? So there are three reasons. Number one is adventure. And number two is spiritual journey. And number three is for a cause. Adventure, for me, it brings about a commitment to myself. Because when I start, I tell myself I will not stop until I finish, until I break down, until I fall, and break my bones and I can't get back onto the bike, I will ride. So commitment applies not only to me, but to each one of us. That is our human character. Number 2 is mental resolve. Because you can't tell yourself after 3 hours or 4 hours on the bike that I'm tired, I'm going to stop. It doesn't work like that. So mental resolve. Number 3 is resilience. That is a part of human resilience. That means each day, if I ride 170, 180 kilometers a day, starting at 6 in the morning, finishing at 6 in the evening, I must get up the next day to ride again. And this time I rode 6,000 kilometers in 37 days, so averaging about 170, 180 a day. So resilience comes into play. And then there is the most important thing, which is the physical capacity. Now, please remember this. Physical capacity is not defined by your physical strength, but the physical capacity is defined by the strength of your mental resolve. It applies to all of us. So if you see me, I'm not a muscular guy, I'm just an ordinary person. And adventure, lastly, it allows ordinary people to do extraordinary things. So that is also very important because we are all ordinary people. So this goes about adventure. Now the next is the spiritual journey, which is a very interesting part. Now let me start like this. In the spiritual journey, for a human being, there are 3 parts. There is the physical body, there is the mind, and then it is you. Now the physical body behaves like this. When I start to ride in the morning at 6 each day, the normal pulse rate or heart rate of a human being is about 60, 70. Quickly, within about 30 minutes, it starts to rise. It goes from 70, 80, it goes up to 140. Now you're on a bike. Now for that 30 minutes, 45 minutes, your body is under distress. And there is pain in the body. But after 4 hours of riding or 3 hours of riding, cycling, the physical pain goes away because the hormonal system also starts to play up, and you start releasing endorphins in your body. Endorphins is a happy hormone. So after 3 hours or 4 hours of riding, despite your heart rate being at 140, 145, and I tell you this is for those 2-3 hours, your body is under real distress. So then, after 3 hours or 4 hours, as I said, the physical body goes quiet. You stop feeling the pain, the physical pain, but there is pain. Then the mind is a clutter box. It is always cluttering, and giving you all kinds of thoughts. And those thoughts give you emotions. So there are happy emotions, there are sad emotions, and there are bad emotions. So when the physical body is quiet, after battling with your system of high heart rate, endorphins playing up, and then the mind also quietens down. So your physical body, you have no pain, and your mind is quiet, and that is the point. There is a switch off and a switch on. The mind has switched off, and you as a person have come alive. So that experience is a very unique experience. That is a spiritual journey. It is very difficult for me to explain what it is like, but it is to be experienced. You see so many things in different perspectives of life. You go back so many years of your life. In one of the days, or let's say in 2-3 days, when I was cycling and I went into that zone of myself, me, I could recollect what my mother had told me 50 years ago. And I was crying. So this is you. And so there is, as I said, a spiritual journey is physical body, the mind, and you. So very important for all of us at some point of time to get yourself alive and feel yourself. Now the third part to this journey was a cause. The cause is I partnered with an international NGO called Save the Children. Save the Children is the largest NGO across the world. They work in 120 countries. So I partnered with them to raise awareness and raise funds from corporates who have large CSR funds for underprivileged children who lost access to education during COVID times. So my effort continues. I have been able to get some big names across to Save the Children, and hopefully they will have a long-term working arrangement, and it will continue, and I will continue my job. Now, my alma mater, the Scindia School. In both my rides, Leh to Kanyakumari and the Golden India Quadrangle, proudly, each day, every day, on both the occasions, I wore the crest of Scindia School on my chest. Soba, it's my extended family. Again, on both my journeys, at each and every location, starting from Chandigarh up to Bangalore, wherever Soba was present, they received me, they supported me. They went out of their way. So thank you very, very much, Soba. Thanks a lot. And my class of 74, again, both rides, they were with me each day. They took turns in a relay. They never left me for a day. So that is Scindia School ethos, Scindia School bonding. I could not find a friend after Scindia School who said, I will be with you even for one day. So I'm grateful. Vikram Mathur is here. Vikram, thank you very much. There is Shobha, wife of Bhutto, as we call him, Devendra Bhatnagar. Sorry, Hema, I'm very sorry, Hema, and Shobha, wife of Vikram Mathur. Thank you very much. Last but not the least, my wife Ishi. She allows me to do these adventures, to ride on the Indian national highways. And it is scary. This time round the corner in Gujarat, in a place called Vapi, where it's a very heavily congested area, and there are lorries, big lorries going past you. And on 2 occasions, I nearly came under the wheels of a lorry. But that is adventure, that is risk. So thank you so much. Thank you very much.
सर थैंक यू सो मच फॉर योर एड्रेस. उस ज़माने में सही कहा है सर, न मतलब की दोस्ती थी, न मतलब पता था. Scindia School friendship remains for all. Now may I request Rasika Bhavi to please say a few words.
Well, this has taken me by a bit of surprise. I wasn't really prepared with the speech. But let me try and speak from my heart about Rajneesh, and I hope I can do that for the entire 5 minutes, as Mr. Malhotra said, which takes much more preparation than a longer speech. Where do I start, and what can I say? to wrap up Rajneesh and his personality in a few lines or a few words is very, very difficult. But what I can say is that, my ride with him of 28 years was absolutely phenomenal. Wouldn't change a day. And Rajneesh was the most irreverent, unapologetic, passionate man there could have been. And that passion extended not just to me, his children, but the overarching passion for the Scindia School is what underpinned everything that he did, right? And, from the day I first met him, Rajneesh and Scindia School were one in my eyes, and it remained so, right till the end. And I think it lives even beyond him. So his love for Scindia School, how should I describe it? As somebody who lived with him for 28 years, if I wanted to niggle him or needle him, all I had to say was, oh, Scindia School is the second best school in the country. And that was it. And that was the start of a fight. And we wouldn't make up till I changed or ate my words back. Yeah. So, but other than that, he was so passionate about the school. And, as an old boy, he went back every Founders' Day from the day he left school. So he went back every year without fail. I think it was his dream to see the alumni of the Scindia School come together and achieve a higher purpose. And I think, this conclave is kind of epitomizes that. And it's so good to see this. I look at this as Rajneesh's success as well, though he's not here with us today. And I think, what more can I say? All I can sort of say is that, somebody said that success is about being happy. And how else can we count success except, the number of friends that Rajneesh had, or should I say family members in the Scindia School, some his age, some much younger than him, and those much older than him. He connected with everybody, and he brought people together. He had this unique vision that he lived with. It was not steeped in any kind of convention. Nothing daunted him. He had this vision about bringing people together, and he was one of those rare people who could leave his self-interest behind and focus on that vision. And the Scindia School and its alumni success was a part of his larger vision. So I am so happy to see everybody together. And Mr. Scindia said that you should do this annually, and that would be fantastic. It would be such an honor for me to see the Scindia School alumni get together. So Rajneesh is not with us. I remain committed to remain a part of all of you and be a part of the family. So anything that I can do at any point to help, whether it's with school activities or with anything that Sobha wants, please, I will step forward and help. Mr. Scindia also said a little catchphrase that really got my attention, and that was learn, earn, and return. So I think Rajneesh has done more than his part in returning, and I will also sort of follow in that tradition. So thank you very much, everyone, for honoring him today.
थैंक यू रसिका जी। रजनीश हमसे दूर नहीं हैं। हम लोग हमेशा बात करते हैं कि आज वो होते तो ये कहते ऐसे करो, वो वैसे करो। तो उनका सम्मान रखते हुए, उनको याद करते हुए वो हमेशा हमारे साथ रहेंगे, उनका निर्देश हमारे साथ रहेगा। विद दीज वर्ड्स मे आई कॉल अपॉन प्रेसिडेंट सेंट्रल सोबा Banjul Badal to please come and thank Maharaj and the entire guest and Scindians.
Good evening, everyone. I'll repeat it again as I started on the first day. I have to get you back. So good evening, everyone. Thank you. Maharaj, Jyotiraditya ji, Principal Sir, and all our friends who have gathered here for these 2 days. As I said in my opening speech, that there is lots coming up, and it was really wonderful to have these 2 days, Delhi giving it a start. And a lot of people have come up to me and said that we want to know what all is coming up. So in smaller lines, just a few words. April is busy with the car rally happening on the 7th, 8th and 9th. It's Noida Orcha. The 22nd of April is in Chandigarh, where we do our Grievalathon, which we launched on the 28th of January at the Scindia School. We have the not senior citizens, but the super senior old boys weekend in Bangalore in August. We have the Chandigarh Leh car enthusiast drive on the 1st of June, which is from Chandigarh to Leh. We have the Conclave coming up in Mumbai. That's the business conclave in September. And we'll be ending up with an awards night on the 22nd of October at Gwalior. So these are some of the things coming up, and love to have all of you join us. So I'll take this opportunity to thank everyone involved in these 2 days functions, Venkatesh and his team for believing in me, and we were just sitting down and saying they are the guys who have started, and we'll have to get everybody involved in gearing up for the 125th year. So thank you everyone, and I really appreciate all the team that has contributed to it. And like in my welcome speech, it's always nice to have the Scindians with us, but even better when the SKVians are with us. Thank you all for being a part of us. And I would especially thank Shreya for getting everybody along. Thank you, and looking forward for a great evening. Thank you.
इन्हीं शब्दों के साथ ये समारोह समाप्त होता है सर, और फिर आगे से जैसा आपने निर्देश किया है उसका परिपालन करते हुए we will have high tea, and then obviously the program follows, which is already there. With this, thank you so much, and please give us a big round of applause to Maharaj.